This is the start of an accountability vlog so that I actually work on the film that I claim so badly to want to finish that I don't seem to actually be doing much work on for various reasons, but I actually don't seem to be doing much work on it. So, yeah, that's what this is. Um they're not going to be pretty and they're mostly for me, but you're welcome to watch if you're not me. But I think actually having to put something out about the progress that I'm making would help me. So there we go. So I'm just going to talk about Monday, and what I did Monday was very important, which was I broke up the film finally into what still needs to be shot. Let me back up. Okay, so my film is a feature film. It is a um, modern day adaptation of Shakespeare's Macbeth set in the world of women's flat track roller derby. And originally, that was all going to be live action. Originally, because of a lot of money things and COVID things and safety things, um, I ended up having to table the film for a long time. I was supposed to finish shooting in um, summer of 2019. But like I said, a lot of things happened. Um, and now here we are in summer of 2021. Um, what I want to do is basically finish this film with just a very experimental process um, where I sort of hodgepodge together a lot of different styles and mediums to make the film. Over the last year or so, I've, over the last year or so, I've been experimenting with a lot of different mediums and styles, and I want to incorporate those into the finishing of the film because I just want to finish it. And I think a lot of it is going to have to be on my own slash with one or two people as opposed to when I was actually shooting it where it was me and 40 plus people just for various reasons. um yeah, and some of those styles that I've tried out have been, puppetry, um 2D animation, 3D animation, um some green screen stuff, and I just kind of want to use those mediums as well as a lot of other mediums to bring it to apply them to different pieces of the film and to make something, to finish something. Like I said, an experimental hodgepodge. Um, and I'll still use all the live action stuff that we shot, which is I think around 30 to 40% of the film. I think it's like 50 to 60 scenes out of 130 were actually shot. Um, a lot of like longer dialogue stuff and stuff like that. And a lot of what's left is crowd stuff, which I just don't feel comfortable shooting right now. But yeah. So yeah, yesterday, back to that. Yesterday what I did was break down what I want the rest of the film to look like. And it's really um sort of tentative, obviously, because I don't know how things are going to work out finally. But yeah, I sort of broke the film down into a few different mediums, and I think I will do, like I said, a lot of it myself. But I also want to reach out to see if people want to help out, which is going to be interesting because I don't have any money anymore for this project. So I'm just going to be relying on people's interest and grace. Um, and hopefully people will be into that. I know that I've talked to a few people who are. But yeah, so I can show you what that looks like, the breakdown, I mean, since that's first. So as you can see here, I feel like I'm giving a fucking teaching, whatever. As you can see here, I have all 133 scenes that were in the script. And they right now are very simply labeled um, as completed, green, or not completed, and then the medium that I want to put them in if I know, and notes for that. And the basic breakdown of what I've done is that I have sort of I have 2D animation, 3D printed miniatures, um, rod puppets, marionettes, live action, which is all done, obviously. Well, I'll get to that later. Um, 3D animation somewhere. Um, I think that's the. And then everything. So I think all of them, most of them really speak for themselves. So 2D animation, I want to be 2D. I think I'm going to like try and contract those out, put bounties on those scenes to see if people want to help out. I don't know. Or maybe I'll do them myself. I don't know. So 2D animation, 3D animation, 3D printed miniatures. I will talk about that when I figure it out. Um, Marionettes, I have. I will talk about again. And rod puppets, another one which I'll talk about when I get to. But yeah, so you can just see what I have broken down. It's man, it's intimidating as fuck looking at this list. Let me tell you. It looks like it's like literally 80 left out of 133, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 have been taken out, which are the black ones. And then of the live action ones, there's even a few that need to be re-evaluated, which is 26, 60, 73, and then 99 and 100. Because, yeah, that's again another thing I'll talk to when I start working on it. Talk about when I start working on it. But so yeah, this is the first thing I've done for this week. And I just wanted to start, yeah, start this whole accountability process for myself so that I actually am like doing things. Another thing that I worked on um Monday slash early this morning was starting to conceptualize the marionettes. Um and yeah, basically I for a long time I was trying to figure out how to reapproach the crowd scenes, like how to make that work in a way that was doable on a very like with a very small crew. Um and I was racking my brain and came across this cool, hold on, let me just pull it up and show it to you because it's easier to show you than it is to explain. Okay, so I I came across this. Well, I didn't come across it. A friend sent it to me because they heard what I was trying to do. But um, this made its way in front of my eyes, and it is this video piece intro done for some more video pieces um, made by an artist named Xander Marrow. And the second I saw this, I was like, oh my god, I could use this same sort of like process style to do my crowd stuff, because I could just make a bunch of puppets and make it happen that way, and shoot them that way. And if I remember correctly, this artist Xander, said that um, they really did it by themselves with the help of another person. The idea now is to try and figure out the best way to make these marionettes, and what's going to be um, most visually effective, but what's going to be possible. And so that's what I'm starting to do this week. I started to look into different marionette processes. There's like the actual straight up just wood stuff, which you can go super high, like uh, 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 level of realism, or you can go like super low level of realism. But I thought wood might be a lot to work with for the scale um, that I'm trying to do here. So that's why I am gonna try and do like paper and paper mache. I started looking at stuff like that. I made a little person. I have to work on these proportions because these proportions are not it. Also, this took a little bit longer to make than I was expecting, but I think it's a cool look nonetheless. So that's something that I'm going to keep experimenting with. But yeah, that's what I've done today. Is make this 3D printed marionettes. I don't have to build them. I can get them 3D printed. I found some models. So then I would just have to paint them and string them. Well, get them printed and paint them and string them. The question is it worth it to get my own 3D printer? Because they go for like 150 plus, which is not bad. Or should I pay someone else? I feel like for the amount of models that I want printed, for the amount of marionettes I want printed, and then later for the 3D printed figurines, it probably makes more sense to just pay the $150, $160 and do it myself. But these are the ones I found. So, please, excuse me. Excuse me, like these 3D models. They have heads, they have eyes, they have hands. Everything I could possibly need to 3D print. And then I would just have to paint, which I think is a much nicer solution than building them all myself. But also, I don't know anything about 3D printing, so I would have to learn about 3D printing also. Sir. So, what is the best here? I want to try it at the very least. So we'll see. We'll see. Good morning. Today's Wednesday. So let's talk about some new things. Yesterday, after recording the other stuff, I did two things. I started organizing a Trello board, which I can show that. So this is the board so far for production or pre-production, as you can see, figure out animation, figure out 3D printed miniatures, figure out marionettes, and figure out rod puppets. Such an interesting and wonderful thing I have going here. Um, but actually, like, I'm in a place where I don't know necessarily how I'm doing these four things, just that I want to do them. And so, yeah, I mean, if I go into figure out marionettes, it's okay. It's figure out how many marionettes I need, figure out figure out how many marionettes I need, figure out how the marionettes will be fabricated, because I was saying I could either build them or do that 3D printing thing, and then find people to help operate them. So there's like stuff going on besides figure it out. Um, and then I also have a production board, which is just the start of me breaking um, these scenes down into what is necessary. Um, yeah, which is I think cool. Oh, I also started trying some animation stuff out yesterday because I realized it's probably going to have to be me almost completely, probably. Um, and so I was like, well, what can I do? Like I've done some animation stuff. I've tried out some animation stuff, but what is going to be a cool way to do this? And I was reminded of rotoscoping, because there's some cool rotoscoping stuff out there, um, done like by single people, um, and I was thinking maybe I would do something like that. So I did a test, which was like for me a test for both style and actual um technique. So it's just like 2 seconds, but one moment. Okay, so this is the test I did. It's just a 2 second test again. But I like this style. I like the roto that like sort of separates itself from um the actual footage, and I like it on top of real life footage. So maybe this is something that I think about and start to pursue. I want to try some more tests. I want to try some longer tests. Maybe I'll just start like going into a scene and trying to do it. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. I spent the entire day um, doing rotoscoping tests. I spent the entire day doing rotoscoping test. I did one. I took this clip of me jumping in slow motion, and I um, rotoscoped it, which I did it on the threes, which just means one frame holds for 3 seconds. So that's 8 frames per 8 frames per second. Um, and it still took so long. But I'll show what I did. Hold on. So this is the original video that I took. This is old. And then this is the rotoscope test. Yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is about 8 seconds long, I think. Um, just on a white background. I didn't do anything beside that. I really like the way this looks a lot. But yeah, this is definitely a long process. But animation is a long process, and that's just something I'm gonna have to accept. Um, but I think that I could do like really minimal animation and mix it in with sound design um and dialogue and ADR dialogue, and I think it could be something really cool. So yeah, I think this is where I'm leaning for now. And the good thing about rotoscoping is that I could also get people to help me. So I figured something out, sort of, or I started to anyway. Good morning. I did some more roto testing. It's Thursday, by the way, the 15th. I did some more roto testing this morning, more animation testing. Um, Let me just pull that up real quick. Okay, so here I'm in Blender. I did some more roto testing. Like I said, uh, over this footage of me like putting a tape into a tape player that I have for another project. Um, but this is what the animation test looks up. This is what the animation test looks like. I haven't finished like coloring and all that kind of stuff. I might later, but I have some stuff that I have to do today, non-film related or other film related. But yeah, I really like how this looks. Um, and you can see at the beginning, I have like this boil going, but then at the end, I'm like reusing frames, even though I have this like tape going in here. I think I like it's more work to do the boil, but I think I really like the boil. Um, yeah, that's okay. Well, time to stop. Uh, yeah, this is what I made. I don't know where I am, but this is what I worked on. This is the finished version. Good morning. I It's Friday, the 16th. I tried a different process a little bit. I did another rotoscoped animation, but I tried a different process where I did some line work and shifted the lines around as opposed to animating every single frame. And I also rendered it out with and without outlines. So I'll put those up in a second just so you can see the work that I did. Yeah, so here is the two versions of the same thing, one with the outlines and one without. I kind of really like it without the outlines. Like I kind of really like it without the outlines. Um I should have rendered it out on white also so you could see what that looked like, but with this background, I think it's really fun looking. And I think the shifting, so with the pants I I rotoscoped every frame, and with the shoes I drew them once and then just shifted them around since they really weren't moving as much, and it was quick. It was very quick. I mean, I could have been here all day just doing the shoes. um but yeah, I think this worked out pretty cool. Hello. It is Saturday the 17th, and I worked on another roto test yesterday and today. Um which will probably be the last roto test I do, because I think I understand really what I'm trying to do with the rotoscoping and the animation portions, the ones that I'm doing myself anyway. Um, so I think I might try and move on to some other things um, and work on those. But let me show you the test. So this is a roto test of like actual roller derby footage. It's from a practice from a while ago that I had on my phone. I found it was way back there. Um. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, that's enough of that. This is the Rota test. That's all I'm doing today. All right. Good morning. It is 10 a.m. on Sunday. Um, I was on set last night until 4:30. Got home at 5:30. So I probably will not do much today. Um, and I think yesterday I didn't do much. I forgot what I did yesterday already. Um, but yeah, I guess it's good to have days where I don't do so much. I think I'm really impatient with myself and with this film and the process because I want to really like dig deep into doing work and shooting and stuff, but I really have a lot of development work to do first so that shooting can be more successful. And so I have to be good with myself about that. Um, oh, I did tweet. I did tweet about the film. Hold on. I did tweet about the film yesterday, which is not quite production work, but it was part of a thread where I was trying to reach out to potential collaborators, and a few people did reach out to me from my tweets. I got like 2 DMs, which is awesome. Um, and yeah, um, again, this is not really production work, but it's relevant to the making of the film. Um, but yeah, that's probably all that's I'm going to really do this week until I start over tomorrow. Start fresh Monday. Um, I think I want to start working on um, rod puppet and marionette stuff. Just figuring out that whole deal with the 3D printing possibly and some paper mache stuff. Um, that's all I can think of right now. So see you next week, I guess. Okay. Actually, no, I'm not done for this week yet. So the original title of my film was The Jammer, and that is, the scoring position in roller derby. Um, but I feel like in restructuring this film and approaching it in a different way with a different process, I want to do a different name. And I don't know what that is yet. So, um, I'm going to brainstorm today because I think that's important to attach to these vlogs somehow and really settle on something. Maybe I'm being insane. I don't know. But I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to brainstorm new names. Okay. Okay. So I've been thinking and I'm pretty sure that I want a long name. Because I think they're funny. I think they're cool. And I think they they give you something. I'm not sure what it is. I'm still figuring that out. But you hear a long film name and you're like, okay, okay. Which doesn't necessarily mean you get this comedy. Like that's not what that smile means. It's this sort of ineffable, like I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I want one. Um, okay, so I looked around, and here are some films with long names that I like. Some one is not quite as long, but some are a lot longer. This is gonna look like a hodgepodge, but I don't really care. So we have Son of the White Mare, which is, like I said, not as long. We have To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. We have As I Was Moving Ahead, occasionally I saw brief glimpses of beauty, which I love. And we have Birds of Prey, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, which still haven't seen that, but that's a fantastic title, and I'm sad they changed it to just Harley Quinn or Birds of Prey or whatever it ended up being. So, what I was thinking was the original working title was the original working title for the film was The Innocent Flower. The reason it was The Innocent Flower is because there's a quote in the original source material of Macbeth that is look like the innocent flower but be the serpent under it, which I think is a wonderful quote. So, using that working title, using the long name thing, the name that I came up with is Laid Low by the Innocent Flower. And I think that I really like that. Um, I mean, and it can also just work as a working title for now. But I like the sound of it. I like that it's longer. And I like that it still has the Macbeth reference in the name. As opposed to the Jammer, which is the title that I was going with when we were doing the other version of the film, which is like, I think more the name of a drama, one, and also the name of a roller derby movie. Um, which this is still a roller derby movie, but not in the same way. I'm rambling, I think. I had a lot of coffee, and I had 5 energy drinks last night. That's not important. But yeah, Laid Low by the Innocent Flower, at the very least, is going to be what I'm working with. I'll title the vlogs like Innocent Flower Vlog, Jammer Vlog, something. I don't know. But I think I like the title, Laid Low by the Innocent Flower. See you next week.